if you haven't heard of me before and you listen to my debut album, I want you to take away almost, this is a weird sentence, but I want you to feel how I felt when I was making the album. So everything, I want the music to like kind of pierce through so well that even if, like what we were saying before, even if you haven't been in that situation before, you feel it and it feels genuine and it feels real, because I really, like, I worked really, really hard on this album. So yeah, just feelings and yeah, I guess that, I don't know how to say it properly, but you get what I mean, right? Okay, cool. Boot Up has changed my life. It's kind of like, I feel like with R&B sometimes it takes a little while for people to catch on. But I always say it's better late than never. Like, I'm so glad that it's Boot Up that caught on, because it's such like a love song. It's like an innocent puppy love. There's no cursing in it. And it kind of just like watching people react to it, it just spreads love throughout a room, which is cool to see in such a, you know, in such like 2018 where there's been a lot of like hate and just like people acting crazy. It feels good to be able to spread love. We're still top 25 after 26 weeks on the Billboard Hot 100, which for a new artist is insane. Boot Up is the longest running song on the R&B hip hop airplay chart by a female ever. Miguel is number one overall. He had 23 weeks, but Boot Up is at 16 weeks currently, and we just beat Mary J. Blige, who was the holder of the record. She was at 15 weeks of Be Without You. I'm just so glad, you know, that people can really see that R&B is not dead, and we're trying to bring it back to mainstream. So. Mustard is the executive producer of my album, and you know, being signed to him, he never ever makes me feel like you can't go elsewhere. Like, I have to produce all your stuff and that's that. It's never been like that. But I think we've just created such a great creative relationship that I lean on him regardless, because as soon as I came into the industry, I was signed to Mustard. So I respect his opinion so much. And, you know, all of my EPs were produced by Mustard, and Boot Up is off the EP, you know? So like, even if it's a record that he hasn't produced, I have to take it to him first. I don't have to, but like, I feel like I should, because I want to hear his opinion. So he's definitely heavily on the album, but it's a lot of stuff that you would never even know is Mustard, which I think is, even with the EPs, a lot of people didn't even realize, because his tag isn't on everything. Production-wise, I worked with an English producer called Nana Rogues, who did Passion Fruit for Drake. I worked with Brian Michael Cox, who is a legend, and I was so excited to be in the studio with him. He's like so humble, and I was just like, you have every reason to be cocky. Like, 9 Grammy nominations, probably gets these questions all the time, but like, how was it working with Aaliyah? And then I was going through the whole like Danity Kane and Day 26 era with him, because I was like a huge fan of Making the Band. And just to sit there and like listen to all the stories, and him just be just so like down to earth, it was really cool to see. And then to actually make a song with him that made the album, which is one of my favorites on the album. I was super excited. But yeah, Brian Michael Cox. I also worked with these guys called Jeff and Dayon Alexander, who did some stuff for Demi Lovato. And shit, I can't forget. The Interns, Cosign. That's another one of my very, you know, I'm struggling to pick a favorite, because every day on the stuff from the album, it changes. Every day I have a new favorite. I feel like I'm forgetting someone. A guy called Lido, who's very much so, he does a lot of dance music actually, but we switched it up a little bit. And I think that's it. J. Cole. Yeah. J. Cole was the only one who I was like, ah! He's my favorite rapper. I remember when he first, one of his, it wasn't Dollar in a Dream tour, it was What Dreams May Come. So it was the Born Sinner tour in London. But yeah, I stood outside from like 10 a.m. I was like the 19th person in line. I remember, because they gave you wristbands, and then you can like leave and come back so you can go and get food. But I was outside from 10 a.m. Like, I have to be in the front. Like, I'm that much of a J. Cole fan. You can bet the bank on me, 'cause can't nobody tell me what I ain't gonna be no more. This last verse is my favorite. Hold on. I wish somebody made guidelines on how to get above the sideline. I made it to the rack, even though they tried to box me out. This is so awkward. Hold on. Stand that this is all planned, this a bigger picture and you can't Photoshop me out. Somebody asked me why Jay never shout me out, like I'm supposed to give a fuck. Don't you know that I'll be out in France where the fans throw their hands like Pacquiao? Not cause my looks, cause my hooks could not rock you out. And my lines been designed from the heart. Young Simba been a line from the start. Dumb niggas, y'all been dying. Oh shit, I messed up the movie truly. And these niggas is dying for the part. Like LeBron versus Jordan. Ah, this is my song. Ah. I have a lion on my hand, so, and I call myself Simba, so that you can. So yeah, it's like that song. It's true though. Music is so universal, and people who don't even speak English will sing lyrics in English just because of a feeling, or if they speak a little bit of English, they can understand a little bit. But like, I think it's very important to talk about real life and to talk about real situations that even if I haven't been through it, that people have been through, you know? And there's a lot of my music, if it's not personal experience, it's someone who is really, really close to me that's been through it. So it almost feels like I've been through it also. But yeah, I wouldn't be here talking about like stuff that I've never even seen before in my life because I can't relate to that. So I think it's very important to be truthful to who you are.